But I think the key driver of this RWA booming in this cycle, actually, I think is triggered by the Bitcoin and the Ethereum spot ETF got passed last year, at the beginning of last year, which means the huge amount of assets in the real world, like the fiat currencies, can actually find a way to flood into the crypto. The RWA can actually grow, and with a very promising future in this cycle. Because first, we already have this infra ready after several years of building. The crypto builders did an amazing job since the DeFi summer, right? And also, with the regulators become more and more friendly with crypto activities and the innovations.
Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Social Value, an AI-powered investment research terminal with prop indices and a high-performing DEX on its own chain. Join its third research competition for a $100,000 prize pool by submitting on socialvalue.com or on BidClub.io, with an additional chance to win another $2,000 every 2 weeks. This will be a fun one. We're live. Welcome to another episode of Bigcast. I'm your host, Jason Kam, aka at Maple Leaf Cap. Today is September 17th, 6 p.m. Hong Kong time. Bigcast is being live streamed to BidClub members. Questions are from the members and my own. This is not financial advice. Today I'm speaking with Emily, the head of spot business at Bybit, the key advisor to Mantle, and the founder of a Solana DEX called Byreal. Emily, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me here. It's really great to be here with you and all your audience today. Yes. Thanks for the introduction. I know it's quite long. I'm wearing many hats, so today I'm gonna represent Mantle. And more updates and the upcoming roadmap of Mantle network.
Yeah. Very exciting. The joke that we have in the group is I think it's Josh who pitched Mantle to the group and on BidClub at 1.1, and then I got too lazy. I only got you on now that it kind of rallied meaningfully. But I think it's still coming at a good time because there's a lot you guys are working on. I think there's the elephant in the room I want to start with, which is I think a lot of us who have been around, I guess in 2021 all the way to today, are familiar with the journey of Bybit launching the BIT token and then the subsequent transition to the MNT token. I guess now that with the announcement that came out in August and now September, what happened with now you guys tying the MNT token back towards Bybit? Can you kind of walk me through the mindset transition of what happened?
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you asked about the BitDAO token. Actually, I joined Bybit after I participated the Bit token sale. Yes. So I'm a holder of Bit for 4 years, but actually I'm working with Bybit for 3 years. I'm not like joined Mantle for 1 month. Yeah. I think the reason why with the recent change is because let's say, under this market, this cycle of the markets, you will see a lot of it's like CEX and DeFi. It's not like CEX versus DeFi. And a lot of like synergies between the centralized exchange applications and all the DeFi innovations. Of course, this trend has started since like last cycle, the DeFi summer. But in this cycle, because the DeFi infra is more and more mature, and also there is a lot of like new comers to crypto, they started their journey with the DeFi apps, like what they did in the last cycle. And CEX also want to embrace more and more to the on-chain applications. And of course, as a centralized exchange, the core is the access and the trading. So as a centralized exchange, like our responsibility is always discover the best assets as early as possible and introduce and onboard these assets to the platform and to introduce to our users, and also offering the best trading services. So that is our responsibility, and this is our mission. It also applies to what we want to build and to contribute to this industry. So that is the reason why we think, okay, maybe the power of Mantle can be the Bybit's core ecosystem token. Yes, since we already have the BitDAO, the Bit token, and then later migrate to a layer 2 infrastructure, And we can see in the past few years, like Mantle became a very, very, sustainable and faster growing layer 2 blockchain. And also we launched the MNT token and the FBTC token, and also recently there is a UR Bank products launched on Mantle. There are so many the on-chain assets built on Mantle, and these assets and applications has already integrated with Bybit, and we also have this MNT, the governance token of Mantle network, already has a lot of utilities and benefits of the MNT holders on Bybit exchange. So with this Bybit and Mantle collaboration, I think, as we said, it's two powers, one future. Yes, we want to further leverage Mantle token and the Mantle network to further empower the Bybit users, and also with the liquidity and also the accessible platform and the products like offering on Bybit, we want to bring more like centralized exchange users and traders to know more about the new initiatives that is happening on DeFi on the on-chain public network. Yeah.
Yep. I guess it's interesting because I remember distinctly back in the BIT days, Bybit direct a certain percentage of their revenue, or maybe it was like post referral fee, like a profit or something, towards the BIT treasury, and it was like a couple $1 million a day, right? And then, if I'm not mistaken, after it transitioned to Mantle, it has since discontinued. Would this restart again now that the tie-up is closer?
Okay, so now we didn't continue that action. Because to be honest, you can see like Mantle Treasury is one of the largest treasury, until now. So we do have a lot of resources and power in our hand that we can utilize it to do better stuff. Yeah. So,
but basically, it's like not decided at the moment yet.
No, not yet. And also, just to be clarified, this. Mantle and Bybit are still like independent. Yeah, it's not like Mantle is Bybit chain, and it's just Mantle, and the Mantle chain is the core ecosystem partner of Bybit.
I see, and then there are, as you mentioned, a lot of ways at which Bybit is now empowering MNT, right? In a way that you can now stake for like basically BNB like airdrops. It becomes a form of collateral. There are like a bunch of things listed in the article. Are there maybe one or two more that most excites you that are like coming in form of collaboration between Mantle and Bybit that you haven't sort of shared yet? Yeah.
Okay. You mean on the Mantle network roadmap, right? Other than the
Bybit?
on
like the MNT empowerment side by Bybit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think one of the most exciting and the one of the most asked feature is the fee discount with MNT. Yes, and actually we already made it in the announcement. We're gonna launch this MNT fee discount program very, very soon on 23rd September. Yes. That is our ETA now. Yeah, so starting from 23rd, September, the users can actually pay the trading fees with MNT token, and also you can enjoy the fee discount if you pay with MNT. Yeah, so that is very, very, yeah.
And okay. Is that fee burned?
Okay, yeah, I also know that we got a lot of questions and asking, okay,
we'll ask about it.
What burn and buyback mechanism? Okay, actually, we need to think it from the long term. So that involves the tokenization upgrade of MNT. We will also consider do that. Yeah, I'm considering to upgrade the MNT tokenization. Yeah.
Got it. So for now, the fee discount, like if a user pays a commission through MNT, starting from September 23rd. They pay less, obviously, and the MNT for now goes into a treasury, the same BIT treasury, and it just sits there for now. Is that the right way to think about this?
Yeah, but also we utilize the MNT treasury or the Mantle treasury to empower the Mantle network ecosystem. Yeah, we also do things with the treasury.
Got it. We'll also talk about it in a second. That's cool. I guess the overarching thing is there's closer ties between the two, even though they are independent entities. I guess here's one way to ask this: is how would the MNT holders get comfort around that these rights that are now given to them are not going to get taken away in the future, just like how the rights of value capture on the BIT was taken away from the users when Bybit decided not to share fees anymore. Like, how do people get comfort that what you get now from MNT is what they'll get in the future?
Okay, so first thing, I think nothing lasts forever. The world is changing. It's always changing. Sure. It's not like a taking away. Maybe it's upgrading or adjusting. Yes, offering something new to you. Yes. So we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But what is for sure here is MNT is the core ecosystem partner to Bybit. Of course, like you see, okay, actually Bybit is very open to all the ecosystem partnership. Yeah, we have very good relationship with Solana. We also have the strategic partnership with Sui, with Ton. We do a lot of activities and campaigns, and also we launch a lot of products together. Yeah, but Mantle is still like a core partner to Bybit.
Got it. So no promises, but for now, it's the top focus, basically.
Yeah,
so
it's
subject to change, yeah, in the future.
Yeah. But for now, like for what I know, there is no changing on this.
Got it. I want to think through kind of the Bybit business for a second. To the extent you can disclose, I think it's like doing like $30 billion of blended volume a day. It's like, maybe 25 billion of perp and then 5 billion of spot. And then that would kind of translate to, assuming it's 34 basis points of take rate, that's like about $4 billion of revenue for Bybit business. Am I roughly in the right ballpark?
Well, if we look at the revenue generated on the platform today, yes, that is a right approach to project the financial statement of our platform.
Mm-hmm. So I understand that on Mantle itself, there is the value capture of the chain itself happens in the form of potentially sequencer fees, potentially the gas fees that are being burned. I guess can you frame for us what is the size of the magnitude of that revenue today of kind of how much Mantle is capturing, if you have the numbers handy?
You don't want to see. You don't want to know it. It's very
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's fair to say that it's relatively small versus the $4 billion figure that Bybit is generating. There are discussions out there about potential value capture of the Bybit revenue back into the Mantle ecosystem again. How do you think of that hypothesis that people are making?
Okay. To be honest, I think what is the significant thing about this strategic partnership is on Bybit. Actually, for now, we already on board the most active, true, real crypto traders in this industry, and also we have the best liquidity. One of the best liquidity providers, on our platform. So that will, be something huge to empower the blockchain network. Yeah.
But none of the Bybit's trades settle on Mantle, right? It's all on CEX still.
For now, yes, but there are some certain assets actually is settled on the Mantle chain, especially for the upcoming roadmap, because we want to continue and focus on the RWA, and we want to serve the institutional clients. Because that is the Mantle's nature, and that is the direction that we want to focus on. So the liquidity is the key. Yes. So why I bring it here is maybe it sounds a little bit odd. But my perspective is I think like centralized exchange for nowadays is very important to this ecosystem, to this industry, because it's already gathered the most crypto traders, and the liquidity is much better. Yes, but the problem, the centralized exchange is private. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the crypto or the blockchain, the network is public, and all the assets issued and offered on the public markets, on the chain itself, right? So there is a gap between this, the native assets on chain, and the liquidity in the private markets or the private platform. Yes.
Sure.
So I think Bybit, like we are at a very, very good position, so we can bridge this gap and also find a way to matching the best liquidity to the assets on chain, to the real world assets, or what is like more important for the industry in the next maybe 10 years or 20 years. Yeah.
Right. So I guess from what I gather is it seems like the newer assets, such as what's from RWA side of things, would most likely trade on chain and not in this private ring fence of the SEX. And it would also seem like Bybit would integrate the DEX experience within this trading experience, so that maybe there is, even though people feel like they're trading in the SEX, they're trading on chain effectively. And that's how the two gets connected together, if I'm understanding correctly. Okay.
Yeah, and also we're upgrading our tech stack on Mantle chain as well to make it faster, more secure, and it is more like easy to use for the institutional grade settlement and the utility.
Yeah. But I guess for a while, like, I guess internally at least, do you guys have a estimate on, like, if we go back to the $4 billion figure, how much of that do you think people would spend MNT, for the fees versus like paying actual cash dollars? Yeah.
Okay, so let's say, if we project it, maybe, in a conservative way, maybe like 20% or 30% of the VIP traders, I think like most will be VIP traders do this, right? Yeah, maybe like 20 or 30% of the VIP traders use this feature. Sorry, that is more aggressive way. Sorry, yeah, and the conservative and that is the conservative. Yes, less VIP traders. Sorry about this. Yeah. And more aggressive, maybe 50 or even more than that, like 60% of the VIP traders, use these features.
Yeah. And then the VIP traders make up like 80% of the volume, something like that.
A little bit less than that. Yeah, but almost, if we include the institutions together, it's about like 80. Yeah.
Got it. So 70 to 80%. So then it's like maybe 15 to 20.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually the real data maybe on spot. Yeah. So on spot, like the retail users take up like 20% of the trading volume, and the VIP and the institutions together takes like 80. Yeah.
And it's the same ratio in perp.
It's slightly different. Yeah. But it's similar.
Okay, so then if it's like, let's call it 75% of,
maybe you should cut the perp side, because I'm really not 100% sure about the perp business.
Okay.
Yes, but
that's fine.
You can disclose like 2.8. Yeah.
For the sake of hypothesis, right? Like let's say 75% of the all volume goes like basically 25, like it's like VIP, and then basically 80%. 20% of them use like MNT as a means of settlement because they get it cheaper. I forgot how much cheaper, right? 30%, 40%, doesn't matter. And then so it's like 15% to 20% of your volume would be settled in MNT, basically. And that to me feels like a token sink immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And that goes live in September 23rd, right? But the MNT gather, you haven't decided what to do with it yet. It's just gonna sit there in treasury.
Oh, okay. But actually, we do we give a little bit like a Mantle ecosystem funds and grants to the projects and been doing this all the time to empower and incentivize our builders to build on Mantle. Yeah, and also we will leverage these MNT tokens to do the collaboration with our very important partners. Like say for example, some like the major DeFi protocols. Yeah, we want to ask them to or invite them to integrate Mantle chain or this. So we will use this MNT treasury to do some program together. Yeah.
But like, let's say if I ran the math correctly, I mean, that's still like $500 million worth of MNT being soaked up on an annualized basis. There's no way you're giving out $500 million worth of grant to the ecosystem, right? It's like a fraction of that every year.
No, yeah. So that is, we also explore like other plans for MNT, the utilities, maybe also in real life. Yeah. So other than the crypto native utilities of the MNT token, we also explore like more and more like scenarios for the MNT token usages. Yeah. So for example, yeah, now like the users can use MNT for payment with Bybit card or Bybit Pay. That is not live yet, but that is some feature we will launch very soon. I think it's also before the end of September. Yeah, so there is like more and more like use cases for MNT.
How much MNT do you think is emitted every year for these ecosystem efforts?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Cut this question. 我真不知道。
哦，这不知道 OK 没关系。I guess so. I would still expect a meaningful portion of MNT to be accrued in the treasury through this kind of fee discount mechanism. What would it take for and then there are two ways of value capture to MNT. One is Bybit just goes out there and spend cash and just buying back MNT. The other way is through this fee generation, Bybit just burns it. What would have to happen for both cases to occur?
Well, like I said, we are open to do the MNT tokenization upgrade. So we will, consider all this together. But also, I think what is more important is to let MNT grow outside of Bybit ecosystem. Yeah. So it's not like Mantle is strictly like clean to Bybit. Mantle is still an independent network, layer 2 network.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to bring more and more the assets and the projects to Mantle network, and the MNT holders, will do more, like invest more, like say for example, to do more like DeFi activities with MNT on Mantle chain, and also probably one day you will see you can purchase or the fund of shares of stocks with MNT directly. Yeah. So that is our end goal. That is our direction.
Yes, I think the growth angle we'll definitely talk about because that's like a pretty exciting part of it. But I just want to wrap up the buyback discussion here because there still seems to be meaningful accrual if the 20% usage of MNT share among VIP is real because it's like a real dollars. I guess I suppose the tokenization update, like, do you feel like the proposal will be done by the Bybit and the Mantle team, or do you expect someone in the community to propose it if there's a timeline on that?
Okay, yeah, that would be me leading this thing.
Okay, well, if you can't say, you don't have to. Okay, well, if it's really, but it is something that you guys are discussing internally.
Yes, okay. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would the 45% ownership of Mantle, would the treasury of MNT stake, that 45%, would that participate in the voting of these proposals?
这个也不能说 like
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We don't know. All right.
The governance DAO mechanism gonna upgrade as well. Yeah. So.
Okay. So we don't know if it can vote. We are discussing it. We don't know the timeline. But I guess another way to ask this is that because there's a lot of speculation in out there about is there a fee share, is there a buyback, is there a burn? another way to ask this is Ben must be very cognizant of the valuation discrepancy of the Mantle token versus other layer 2 or layer 1 tokens associated with central exchange. And would you say that it is in his best interest to sort of close that valuation gap? And all of these proposals and tokenization upgrades would push us into that direction.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I can try to be Ben here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think yeah, MNT is very important to Bybit users, right? It's not like the MNT is Bybit platform token, yeah, but MNT is independent.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like synergies, and MNT I think is gonna be a key growth driver to Bybit as well. Yeah, so I think like for as the CEO and the co-founder of Bybit, I think we need to make sure that we take it very carefully and we use it wisely, to come up with the best solutions to benefits the both Bybit users and the MNT ecosystem builders and MNT holders.
I see. Very helpful. Good cosplay. I don't know. And because you talk to them almost every day, do you feel like there's a schedule in their mind of when all of this would settle? Is it like Q4, Q1? Yeah.
I love this question. Yes, because Ben is very, he's Aries. Everything for the timeline wise, I think is ASAP in his mind.
Okay. That's very helpful. Okay.
And also, answer the question how Bybit. People will say, okay, how can Bybit execute everything is so much excellent execution? Yes, because Ben wants everything ASAP. Yeah.
Okay, so this is top of mind, and like he does things ASAP. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's move on a little bit. Before we move on to the growth initiatives, just one last question from me, because in the treasury, in the Mantle treasury, there's about $5 billion worth of MNT token. And then last I checked, $1.1 billion of Bitcoin, ETH, US dollar, and so on and so forth. You kind of mentioned it briefly, but what's the plan for that sizable treasury? You could certainly sell BTC and ETH into US dollar to buy back MNT, but it's subject to government.
Who will do that?
All right. Well, let's talk about growth initiative then. I guess. I guess there are a lot of things you guys are working on. There's the DeFi side of things. There's the RWA side of things. There's UR Bank, which is actually kind of a separate effort. But I guess what set of opportunities excite you the most that you think would drive the value and the ecosystem sort of growth of MNT itself? Maybe are there one or two things that excites you the most in the foreseeable future?
Yeah, well, I think personally, I'm really, really bullish on the RWA initiative. Actually, it's not a new cliche. Yeah, so I think since maybe in 2017, at that time we talk about STO, right? And then we saw the stablecoin, the booming. The Tether introduced the USDT. It's kind of like a game changer, right? Like all the crypto assets, they can be settled with USDT, and that is a game changer for crypto, and this really push the mass adoption of crypto in the first wave, I think. Yeah, and in the last cycle, in the DeFi summer, to be honest, we already changed the narrative from STO to RWA. I still remember the first DeFi RWA projects I kind of participate or tried a little bit is Centrifuge. I think at that time they tried to kind of tokenize the real world asset into a token, and then by buying the token, it seems like you own a share of that the real asset. So there is also other kind of initiative and experimental projects around RWA in the last cycle. And I think that in this cycle, RWA is coming back, but that is the current the circumstance. But I think the key driver of this RWA booming in this cycle, actually, I think it is triggered by the Bitcoin and the Ethereum spot ETF got passed last year, at the beginning of last year, which means the huge amount of assets in the real world, like the fiat currencies, can actually find a way to flood into the crypto and can invest crypto directly with the fiat. The RWA can actually grow and with a very promising future in this cycle. Yeah, because first we already have this infra ready after several years of building. The crypto builders did an amazing job since the DeFi summer, right? And also, with the regulator is become more and more friendly with crypto activities and the innovations. Yes, I think like this cycle, the RWA is really. It's not like just the best story. It's like a dream. Yeah.
Yep.
And also like where the crypto can be how to say. Yeah, that actually echo the beginning and the core value of the crypto and the blockchain technology. Yeah.
What is the asset that you think would get the most trading volume, you think?
So of course, it's a stable coin for sure.
Yeah.
And also, I think the tokenized stocks and equity tokens draw a lot of attention in the markets since the launching of the X stocks at the end of June, right?
But do you feel like it'll benefit Mantle though? Because it almost feels like it's a stock perp that would trade on Bybit and doesn't necessarily have to be minted on chain.
Yeah, and actually, we also list the X stocks token on the spot listing. So actually, the users can buy the X stocks tokens on Bybit directly. Yeah, and also, of course, you can buy it on DEX, like Barry also on the DEX as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can see a lot of the users actually have the demand of buying the stock tokens. Yes, but of course, due to the liquidity issues, yes, we can see the data on chain, all this, the trading volume is not very high, and also the AUM is not very high. Of course, it's because there's some like model. The liquidity model is not the best with the X stocks way,
Right.
but the demand is real. Yeah, and we do see the trading volume generated from the Asian markets. Yeah.
Do you feel like you'll move the needle meaningfully to Bybit's $30 billion per day volume anytime soon? Because it seems very small at the moment. Yeah.
At this moment, it's small, but I think because after the launch of the X stocks, many teams are trying to do the similar thing or trying to find a better solution. Yes.
Got it.
So that is the key direction where the money goes. Of course, where the magic gonna happen.
So it's like a new asset class now people get to trade, and it should just be eventually incremental to your trading volume, both on DEX and so. Okay. And is there a way to quantify how big it could be to your business?
Well, to be honest, it's relatively small. Yeah,
Okay.
because for
So
now they will only the 10 stock. Tokens. Yeah.
Got
And
it.
also they're quite like major ones. But I think, to be honest, personally, I'm very bullish on the on-chain IPO and this kind of like the equity shares tokenization.
Yeah. It seems like it would happen. Do you think that'll happen on Mantle, or do you think it'll happen on like Solana or Ethereum and whatnot?
We want it, okay, it's already happening on Solana, but we want it to happen on Mantle as well. Yes.
Yeah, got it. How would that work? That like it does seem like it's a really exciting opportunity. Like, are you doing anything to build the TVL of these kind of assets on Mantle that could be relevant?
Yeah, actually, we do have like we already talking with not a lot of, but quite a few this kind of RWA assets issuers in different regions. Yes, and it's quite promising, and maybe soon you will see some the real RWA assets, the valuable assets launch on Mantle network. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like what kind of, like, is there anything more you can share on that front?
Okay. Yeah. We're talking one of the major fund managers in the US and in the Europe. Yes.
Okay.
And also with some the public listed companies. Yeah. In Asian markets and in the US markets, they are seeking to tokenize their stocks and potentially get listed in crypto exchange. Yes. So there's some,
interesting. Through
yes,
like a securitized superstate type transfer agent and not through, okay,
yes,
interesting.
yes,
And the
also
mint,
yes, and Securitize is our tokenization partner already, and
I
Securitize
see.
already integrate Mantle chain. Yes.
I see. So and it will be minted as like this omni fungible token, and it will be everywhere. Okay, interesting. That's cool. What else excites you? Like when I look at the Mental's TVL, like the fees generated, the tie-up, like what else do you think could really kind of be transformative to the business in the next like couple of months, couple of quarters on your pipeline?
DAU, the active, wallet addresses. We
Okay.
want to see users, build on, the trade and do activities on Mantle
Yeah.
chain. Yes, because as ecosystem, there's a saying like 国民众之聚落之域也. Yeah, like it means like how can be a country or state is where people gathering together. That place is a country. I think it's similar to how to build an ecosystem. Yeah, like it's like as a successful like ecosystem, you have to have like many active users, and you can attract the real like builders to come to your chain as a contributor, like what
Yeah.
Solana did. Solana did a
Yeah.
very good job on this. Yes.
Yeah. What kind of UI UX improvements then are you guys working on to like really drive that DAU growth?
Yes, of course, by running campaigns, and what is more importantly, to introduce more assets on Mantle chain. Yeah, the other way is one type of the assets class. On the other hand, we also try to address more the crypto native projects to build on Mantle as well.
Got it. I noticed in the article that you guys published, there's something about this MNT OTC thing. Can you talk more about that? What does that mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. The MT OTC actually is it's a product feature. It's more like a product feature. Yeah, where you can buy large amount of MNT directly on Bybit through the OTC feature. Yeah.
And it's directly buying from the treasury itself, or?
No. It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
So where would a buyer buying the token from?
From the liquidity provider. Yeah. Of MNT.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. And
Yes.
they're sourcing it from the market directly?
They're sourcing from the markets directly.
Okay. So I guess someone has to give them a lot of inventory because otherwise it'll just be a TWAP order.
Yes, because MNT actually is not just a tradable on Bybit, right? MNT also got listed on the other venues, let's say for example, the other centralized exchanges, and also Hyperliquid spot as well. Yeah, so we do have a market maker that we work with to provide for MNT tokens. Yes.
So instead of, for institutions like us, we can go to a broker and they will just quote you a large, like 1 million MNT, and they'll just, okay. But now, like you basically offer it to anybody on the Bybit platform the ability to access the broker effectively.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, understood. That makes sense. And then, is there any room for like Mantle to work with some of these like applications that drive significant volume and revenue currently, like Axiom, Hyperliquid, Pump Fund? Like, is there any way you guys can work together on certain things, or is that kind of very different ecosystem, between you and them?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I think for the OTC, I should also introduce the discount buy feature. Yes, okay, because people maybe think, okay, this is any way we can buy like cheaper MNT on the markets. Yeah, actually, it's not through this OTC feature. But later on, we're gonna introduce a discount buy products for Mantle. Yeah, so that will be live around the end of September. Yeah.
And you buy at a discount, but you have a lockup, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think for the discount buy is for all the retail users and the VIP users and the institutional clients. Yeah, they can enjoy this program.
Got it. But how big of a discount are we talking here?
Sorry?
How big is the discount?
Let me check.
Yeah.
我真不知道. Yeah, because actually it is kind of the option structure products. Yeah, it just
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, interesting. And sorry, and on the collaboration with other platforms out there that generate, whether they're DEXs, they're like launch pads, is there any room for the Mantle network to collaborate with those companies in any shape or form? Like they're not on Mantle, right? They're on Solana, they're on their own chain. But is there any room for collaboration, you think?
Of course. Yes. So actually we are pitching and also are already like working with some multi-chain the DeFi platforms. One of the platform we're working with the products is still in beta test, but it's gonna go full launch around the end of this month, September as well. Yeah, so it's a multi-chain meme coin launch pad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know which one you are thinking about, but maybe that is the one. Yes. So that team is building a multi-chain pump fund. Yeah, and they will support Solana and also other EVM chains, including Mantle. Yeah, so Mantle will be there since day one launch. Yeah.
And is the that's okay, that's cool. And is the UR Bank acquisition? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so that is just the one showcase. Yeah, and actually, yeah, we are still working on do a lot of BDs and attract the other DeFi projects. Integrate Mantle chain as well. Yeah, some big ones as well. Yeah.
And then regarding the UR Bank acquisition by Bybit, is that going to benefit Mantle in any certain way that you can think of?
Yeah, at the UR Bank, I'm not sure if you try the UR Bank products. Yeah,
No,
I think they
no.
launched. Yeah, it's in a wet list. Invitation based, and the UR Bank launch around the end of June. I think they're gonna go public very soon as well. Yeah.
But is it going to benefit Mantle in any shape or form, you think?
It's built on Mantle chain. Yes.
And what does that mean for the usage of the platform and the fees generated, you think?
我真不知道.
Okay.
UR Bank.
Okay.
不知道.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna guess. Okay. Got it. I guess there are two more questions I wanna kind of discuss. We were talking about this just before we started the stream, which is the SEC did come out talking about basically a centralized list set of sequencers, make a layer 2 roll up similar to that of an exchange, and thereby basically needing potential SEC registration. How do you feel that statement made by Hester Pierce kind of impact the Mantle chain or any other layer 2 for that matter? As far as I know, there are some layer 2s out there that have one sequencer or 10 or something owned by one company, like BNB or something. But how do you feel like it affects your business?
Okay, yeah. So actually, that is actually it's quite serious because we also watched that speech earlier, right? And internally, like we talk with our tech team as well. So we are working on some solution and try to make like Mantle network is more decentralized, more secured in a way. Yes, and I think for the if you look at all compared to the other layer two blockchain, I think the Mantle tech stack is really outstanding. Yes, and we are the first one support like a ZKP, and also we actively to do upgrades and also follow the industry standard. So to be honest, we haven't confirmed which solution we're gonna do, but that is something we already noticed and we decided to work on. Yes. To be honest, it's quite serious. Yeah, because we had questioned about this before, but after the speech, we think okay, actually, it's happening. Yeah, but we know there is a window period there. But that is something like already bring our alert on. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. We talked about quite a few growth initiatives you guys are working
Maybe
on.
we
We
can
kind of
also discuss. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
我们可以好对 yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe also we will also watch what Base doing.
Interesting. What this?
Yeah.
They are very centralized, actually. Yeah, I would imagine.
Right.
Is that? Do you
So
think that has? Do you think because of that speech, that's why they're considering a token, which is really to decentralize, as Sequencer said?
yeah, so it's really fun to see what Base is gonna doing next. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. In a sense, the Base chain to the Coinbase relationship is quite similar to the Mantle versus Bybit one.
But we are not listed company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very and this is actually a good segue to the last question. We covered a growth aspect. We also covered a lot of the buyback mechanics. There's a higher level thing I kind of want to discuss. I'm going to go on a spiel for a second. This is actually really relevant. Your peers like Binance and OKX and whatnot, there are a lot of them. Some of them go by different routes of capturing liquidity for the early investors. Right. In the BNB case, the IPO of the Binance equity itself has a lot of hurdles to overcome, and that's why, at least it feels like, they're going through the path of tokenizing their equity through BNB. Right. BNB for a very long time is pseudo Binance equity, and then what they're doing is they're creating all these DATs to effectively link the Nasdaq and NYSE liquidity to BNB. Right, thereby giving it a pseudo equity that is Binance. That's their path. Maybe they'll go for a Binance IPO soon. I don't know. The other path is, let's say, a company like OKX, where they have the OKB token, but it seems like Star really wants to go through the IPO path. They have done all the compliance necessary to go for an OKX IPO, and by extension of that, the OKB coin has a massive burn event and no longer future value capture through the OKX token. What do you feel like? I guess you probably don't want to speak out of turns here, but is there anything that Bybit is thinking in terms of actually capitalizing like the enterprise value of the business? Would it be through a closer tie-up with MNT and then through a DAT? Is that such a thing being planned, or do you feel like an IPO path is actually possible?
Wow, that is a tricky question. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I can take it. Yes, as you mentioned, so it seems that the other two competitors, they choose the different approach, the different path. Yeah, but this path, the different path, I think the end goal is similar. I think the end goal is to, introduce or bring the platform tokens to the capital markets. Yes, I think that is also what we want to do as well with Mantle. We also want to bring Mantle, maybe not like representing the Bybit platform token, Mantle as the core, the layer 2 ecosystem governance token. We also want to bring MNT to the capital markets. Yes, so for now, like there is different path. Maybe the existing path is not the most suitable path for Mantle, but that is definitely something actually we are discussing internally. Yeah.
So a DAT is very much discussed.
Yes, to be honest,
Okay.
yes, I cannot
Okay.
deny on this. Yes.
Okay. And it seems like Bybit is a very interesting like OKX spent a lot of money to try to 上岸, like they try to like basically become compliant, and I think it's because they want to actually IPO the equity, and the sign of them kind of removing value capture of the token to an extent removes the hurdle of them going IPO. At least that's my understanding. I could very well be wrong. The read-through of potentially Bybit tying up itself more with Mantle kind of reads through to me that the Bybit IPO path is harder now. The equity and the path of doing a DAT on Mantle, backdoor and giving the Bybit equity value is more suitable.
不行，不能问这个，这个可不能
Okay,
说，
okay, all right,
不能
fine,
问
all right, cool,
这
all
确
right,
实有
cool.
点难。对，嗯。
Yeah, it's tough. All right. I don't have any other questions. Is there anything we haven't covered that you think is pretty important?
Yeah, of course, for sure. Yeah, there's a very, very important message I want to, tell your audience. Is social value is an investment ecosystem designed to elevate the standard of digital assets investment, and its core are three innovation products. One is an AI-driven research terminal, one is a seamless indexed protocol, and a high-performance decentralized exchange called SolEx, built on social values value chain. Yes, and also you
Yes.
can trade social on Bybit.
Yes. Trace us around Bybit. Thank you for our sponsor. Good plug. Good plug.
Yeah, and I also actually Bybit TradeGPT integrated with social value. Yeah.
Oh,
So
amazing.
if
Yeah,
you
that's
use
actually
that,
good.
the products, actually it's powered by social value.
Great. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Okay, thank you for your time.